I just want to come on here and kind of talk about me, who I am, what I do, um, and kind of give you an idea of the purpose of the page. I don't want people to think that this is a bash page on AZ. I don't want people to think this is a bash page on Big L. It's not. That's not how I roll. I just think it's funny. Some of the things she does, AZ especially, like I'm totally involved in that. As far as, I really am glad to see um, H get out of there and P get out of there. And I didn't have any part in that. I have donated this money and I do want to follow that and make sure that that all goes well with her. But it's the same with B. Big L. I don't want to bash them. That's not what this is for. But I know that there's people out there who are concerned too and want to see the videos. So I figure I'm gonna watch them anyway. I'll play them for you. Um, what I do, I am by trade a community health worker, client advocate. I worked for the last 10 years at a community health department. Um, Worked through COVID at a health department. That was fun. Um, but during that time, working there, I've done a lot, to help people and solve problems and that sort of thing. Helped people with food stamps during COVID. As soon as the shutdown, somebody got word that I knew a little bit about what I was doing. The next thing I know, I was helping everybody with their unemployment. I spent probably 3 full months of 9 to 5 and sometimes Saturdays working, and it was just helping people get through the unemployment, whether it be, walking them through, what button to push, what paper to upload, that sort of thing. It was, I helped them do that. So that brings me to the case I'm working on right now. I no longer work for the health department. In fact, I don't work for anybody right now. Kind of on a little hiatus. I had some health issues, and so I'm kind of at home. But I'm starting. That's one of the reasons I started this page is um, I got to get my foot back in the water as far as working and spending time on the computer. And it's going to help my health as far as I lost some fine motor skills, and using the computer has been difficult. And so typing and doing this sort of thing and still doing what I do just kind of helps me get through the day. So that's a backstory. That's not, what this page is about. It's not about Big L. It's not about AZ. I just find them interesting. If I see another, poster that I like, I'll post them. You'll see a lot of Mama Tot on here. I love her. Mary Catherine Backstrom. I absolutely adore her. Shout out to her, because if she would do a phone call with me, I have a story to tell her, and I've told her 100 times, and I'm sure I would want her to heal a little bit before I give her that story. But anyway, back to the investigation that I'm working on now. I've been working on this since December of 2020. A lady came to me, little backstory on her. She's 70. At this time, she was 77 years old. She went back to work at 76, I believe. She retired when she was 72. Anyway, she went back to work full time in, I think it was 2019. And then December 2020, when she was 78, she lost her job and filed for unemployment. She called me. She knew I knew what I was doing. And I said, yep, let's do this. So we started the application process and found out that she, someone had used her account fraudulently during COVID. They never got a payment on it, but the case was open. So we had to go through the process of proving, social security card, driver's license. And you guys, we're in Michigan, but I'm sure if you've ever dealt with unemployment, you get it. Especially during COVID, it was almost impossible. Thankfully, this was in 2020, 22, so it wasn't as bad. But still, they're still really backlogged. And we'll get to that in a minute. So we did you have to file, the fraud case. Well, like I said, they're still behind. So she filed that right before Christmas. It was like the 17th or 18th. I had to look at the calendar, which was a great time to lose your job, right? During Christmas. What the hell? Anyway, so she filed the claim in December. And then once we realized, we found out there was a fraudulent account, and that was the issue. It was January when the fraud people filed, and they said, okay, it's filed. We'll get back to you. So we waited. They said to wait 60 days. So we waited 60 days, nothing. I kept calling, nothing. She made me spokesperson on her account. There's a form that I gave her that gives me the ability to do that. So she didn't have to be in the room when I called. We tried to get that taken care of. So they, again, kept saying, nope, nope, you got to wait for a call. You got to wait for a call. Well, here we are into early June, and we had nothing. So I reached out to an old coworker and I, kind of give her a gist of what was going on. And I'm like, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do here. And she's like, well, why don't you try your state rep? And our state rep is Tom Coons. I've met him in person. He goes to township board meetings. We have an issue here. I'm not going to get into it, but he's our rep. And he said that his office, Olivia, the gal in his office, shout out to her. I can't remember her last name. It starts with an A. I've been working with her and she's like, okay. She goes, well, I have a contact at unemployment. Let me give them a call. Gave them a call. We finally got somebody on the phone who knew what they were doing. There was a couple calls in between, but long story short, we got the claim filed. Okay. So we filed the claim in Michigan, and I don't know how it is in other states. I'm sure it's the same, but in Michigan, every week you have to certify. So you have to go through the list of questions. So her and I sat down and we went through all the questions for the whole, by this time it's 20 weeks, her max. So at this point, she can't even file anymore. So we spent, it took us at least an hour and a half to go through and certify every one of those 20 weeks. And you got to be careful. You can't make any mistakes, because there's any mistakes, it flags it, and then you're back on the phone. So you could not make a mistake. So it took our time, very slow. We got that done. Well, what she was supposed to do that day was go down to Michigan Works, which is our unemployment agency, basically, and register for work, register that she's seeking work, which is kind of ridiculous because she's 60 or 78 years old. But it is what it is. She's actually working full time now, but that's beside the point. So she went down to Michigan Works that day. It was a Friday, and Michigan Works was closed. They had an in-service day, some sort of staff meeting. So she couldn't file that day. So she went down the next Monday to file that and got it stamped and sent to unemployment. Well, then unemployment, they got it, whatever. They come back and I'm like, okay, so we should be getting a payment, right? Everything was good. Everything was certified. Nothing. Well, it was flagged again for something. So I called Olivia back at Tom Coons' office, and I'm like, Olivia, okay, here's where we're at. I really don't, know what to do at this point. I'm not getting anywhere. So she reached out again to the gal she talked to before, and she said, listen, she's like, you just have to appeal the decision. So basically what they said is because she certified those weeks on the computer before she filed at the unemployment agency, they're holding it up. They're holding up the payment because she didn't file at the unemployment agency before we did certify each week. So basically it's literally a glitch in the system, and nobody at unemployment can do anything about it. Nothing. So listen, this is mid-June that this is going on. So finally I'm like, Olivia, now what? She's like, I don't know. So we talked to the gal down there. She goes, listen, you have to file an appeal now. There's nothing you can do. They've denied it. They've said you don't qualify. Now, in the meantime, the factory that she was working for revamped. They closed, but they changed owners, and they got rid of almost everybody, kind of changed what they did at the shop. So they didn't need as many people. And she was one of them that went. Well, they got a hold of her and was like, Nola, or excuse me, and why haven't you, and I have her permission to tell this, so she's not going to care. Why haven't you filed your unemployment? And they said, and we told her we did, we can't fix this. We don't know what's going on. And they're like, this is crazy. We're ready to pay you. They were concerned that, and this is the people that have to pay. So anyway, so we filed the appeal. So now here we are with on the screen. That's where we're at. So tomorrow I've called them already, but they basically just send me around to different people. Well, tomorrow I got another lead from somebody else who does a little bit more experience in unemployment than I do. And I got a little trick. So I'm going to try it tomorrow and see what happens. And hopefully we can get this taken care of, because it's been, like I said, it's been a month, or well, it's not a month. It's been almost a year. I mean, she got the max unemployment, so she's looking at $7,000 is what they're sitting on. And it's absolutely ridiculous. All over like a little glitch of something that you should be able to go in and fix that. It's absolutely no reason that the unemployment agency can't fix it, that we've got to go to the court system, because this is basically, she's got to go in front of a judge now. And this was filed in July. I think when we finally got everything cleared and filed, that it was like right after the 4th of July or right before it. And we still don't have a court date. None. So that's how backed up these courts are. And this is as a taxpayer, this irritates me, because why are my tax dollars going to pay a judge all he's got to do is look at this and say this? If it were me as the judge, I'd be like, this is absolutely ridiculous. So this is what I'm working on. This is kind of what I do. So just kind of give you an idea of what I do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed, this video and kind of got that off my chest a little bit. And I'll let you know, as we move forward, what happens. But yeah, like I said, she's looking at $7,000 that the state is just holding on to, that she has every right to. And it's all because of a stupid clerical error that the actual unemployment agency's system, like their computer system, doesn't let you fix it. It's asinine. And so now what's happening is it's clogging up the court system with stupid crap when they should be working on the scammers, right? So there's another part to this story with her, and I guess I'll share it right now. She got a letter a couple weeks ago, and this is so funny because it's like another unemployment thing, but she got a letter from the IRS and DHS both, because her Medicare was up, and she had Medicaid during COVID, and so that was up. So everybody had to like redo their stuff. Well, the IRS sent her a letter stating that she had gotten like $8,000 from unemployment. So, and I looked at it, I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, how is the unemployment agency saying that they've paid her already? Well, come to find out, and after inspecting the letter from the IRS closely, there was another claim opened in her name in Maryland. So I ended up having to called Olivia back at Tom Kuntz's office. She goes, okay, Sarah, that's out of my league now. Now you got to go to the feds because this is an IRS issue. So now we have papers into the IRS, or tomorrow we got to work on that too, fill out paperwork, write a letter saying that she's never lived in the state of Maryland. She's never worked in the state of Maryland. She's never had an unemployment claim in the state of Maryland, to prove that she did not open that case. So come tax time, we don't have the IRS on her saying that she's got all this income she doesn't have. So we ended up calling John Molinar's office, and I spoke to, I forget what her name was, but she was really nice. She told me what to do. And again, it's pretty much the same drill we had to do with the unemployment: send her a letter, send ID, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what goes with that. So this is an ongoing thing. It's been a year. It's really been a headache. God bless the lady for being so patient. Like I said, she is working now. And God bless her. But, I really am enjoying, glad that I can help her. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, that's what I do. That's what I did. I'm probably tell you stories here and there about, kind of things I used to do. But anyway, that's one of the things I'm working on right now. So have a good night.